Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome in to Van Taylor Stadium in Greenwood, South Carolina, on the campus of Lander University. It is NCAA tournament time here in Lander as the Bearcats, the number 2 seed in the Southeast region, take on 6th-seeded Anderson for a right to play for the Southeast Region Championship next weekend. Hello, everyone. Rickson Lane, joined by former Bearcat standout Ian Folger, as we get ready to bring you the matchup of 2 and 6 in the Southeast. Lander earning the automatic bye into the semifinals. Anderson pulling off a stunning comeback win over 3rd-seeded Limestone here on this pitch Friday night to get into this semifinal match. And Ian, these are two clubs that have already met this season. Lander took a 1-0 victory over the Trojans earlier on this field, and this is an Anderson team that has certainly proven themselves very capable of pulling an upset. They've already done it once this weekend, trying to do it again.
I remember the last time they were here, Anderson, second game of the season. It was very chippy, tight affair, lots of fouls, you know, two good teams in the region, and that's why they're here playing today. I'll expect to see something similar again.
So as we get ready to go, Lander in the home white kits. Blue numbers, Bearcat insignia on the front of the jersey, blue Lander across the back, blue shorts. Anderson countering with the road all blacks, the same kits they wore on Friday night. And early on, you see the pressure up top from the Trojans as the Bearcats work it on the back line. Anderson today trying to punch their ticket to the Southeast Region Championship. Lander looking to make a return trip after playing for the region title last season down in Florida on the campus of Lynn University. The other regional semifinal going on today between Young Harris and Tusculum. The Mountain Lions out of the Peach Belt hosting that pod in the NCAA tournament as the number 1 team in the country at the moment. The winner of that game will meet the winner of this game. And fast-paced action here early on as you see both teams flying all over the field. Anderson chased Lander all the way back to their own box, and now the Bearcats trying to counter with some pressure of their own.
I'm a little bit surprised about that from Anderson, to be honest. You know, coming into it after that very tight affair just 2 days ago, went to overtime, you know, tired legs. If they carry on pressing this high this early, later in the game, they're going to really start feeling it, especially as you'd expect Lander to have the majority of the ball this game.
You imagine right now everybody's running on adrenaline, but that eventually is going to wear off, and it will be the Bearcats at that point that should have the advantage, having been able to sit back at home on Friday and watch this match while Anderson was fighting to keep their season alive. In goal today for the Trojans, sophomore out of Israel, Gal Elyashiv. He will be manning the post for Anderson. Defensively, Harry Ward on the back line, also with Ryan Trier. Bakir Peterson, San Juan, a midfielder. Barl Galanti, also a defender. Also Lucas Mustajo on the back end for the Trojans. The midfielders, we mentioned San Juan, also Colin Burris, Cameron Emerson, and Esteban Lee. Lars Kula at the top of the formation for the Trojans this afternoon. Early throw in for the Bearcats is like Narker will send it into the box. A good, strong throw. The Trojans are there defensively. And out of play, throw in Anderson. Lander will go with Jacob Withers, the all-conference freshman out of North Augusta. He'll be in goal today for the Bearcats. He's been brilliant throughout the year. Defensively, Richard Bryan, Jordan Skelton, Kyle Ferguson, Luke Narker. The midfielders for the Bearcats today, Oliver Brock, Sinclair Sandy, Sia Jamadar, and Oakley Hanger. And then George Knight and Jamie North listed as a defender and midfielder, but they'll be leading the attack today. As you saw, Knight commandeer the ball down near the box, fighting to keep it in his possession. Scrum forward, Anderson comes away with it.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Narka. Obviously, he didn't have, I don't think he had a start throughout the regular season. However, in postseason, stepped in due to an injury, I think, to Rich, and he's kept his place, so credit to him. He's done what he's had to in the 3 or 4 games he's played so far. One
fixture of the Bearcats starting lineup that is not out on the pitch at the moment is Tyler Bolton, the senior midfielder who has been a mainstay in the Bearcats starting 11. He is dealing with the effects of a hamstring injury that he suffered in the Peach Belt Conference semifinal against Clayton State. He wound up missing the championship match with that injury. He is dressed out and available today, but Lee Squires electing to keep him on the bench to open this match up as the Trojans pressure on the far side. Skelton trying to win the ball back, and the decision will be a corner kick for the Trojans. So here in the 5th minute, Anderson with the first opportunity to really put some damage against this Bearcat defense. Corner coming up for AU.
Yeah, Lee rants and raves about it, the 3 years I was playing, and I'm sure he's done the same this year. This late in the tournament, every game's a cup final. It's going to be so close. Every set piece is going to count. It looks like they've got something planned here.
As they tried to draw Sandy, it looks like, up to the corner. Now they work back in the middle. Ball going to be sent on. Oh, there's a shot, and it's just wide. Oh, my goodness, a one-on-one opportunity.
What a save. I think he's given the corner. He must have saved that.
I think Withers might have gotten a piece of it.
See, that's exactly what I was talking about. Set pieces count. The ball got drifted out. Well worked from Anderson. All the Lander boys have stepped in, except, they've stepped out, but they've just left their man, and we're watching it back now. Yeah, they just stepped out, left the man free in the middle. It looked like they're doing something similar again. Hopefully Lander switch onto it this time. They're 2v1 against Sid.
Yeah, Withers did get a piece of that one.
What a save that is then. Big save. He's done so well all year, and crucial save at a crucial time.
How about that for the freshman 5 minutes into his first NCAA tournament? And he keeps the Trojans off the board. Anderson still with possession and wanting to swing it near side to Lee, the freshman out of Bolivia. Lee going to poke it down into the corner. Ferguson giving chase, wanting to turn the corner on him as Ward. Ward will reverse back it towards the middle, but then North steps in front of the pass. Sandy trying to win it free for Lander. Ward again works out of danger. Sandy saves it from going over the end line, and then Ward deflected goal kick for the Bearcats.
Started well, this number 2. I didn't get to watch the game Friday, but I seen I think he notched the goal on Friday, and he's continuing that form into today. Started very, very quickly, as they should have done. I know I said about heavy legs. They played a lot, but they're a lot more match sharp. Lander are playing against each other in training, but it's not the same intensity as a game, and that's shown right now. Anderson has started better than Lander.
Yeah, the Bearcats' last action came exactly 1 week ago in that Peach Belt Conference tournament title match against Young Harris that went to penalty kicks. As Withers sends it away.
Anderson just like they're first to every first ball. Look like they want it a little bit more. Obviously, Lander expected to win this. Coming in as the underdog, you're going to work that 10% extra. Here we go. Here's a chance. Great pass.
Onto Hanger near side. Hanger's got some room, trying to work into the box. Long touch.
Oh, good save.
Ball deflected away, and Elyashiv able to keep it in play. That last touch from Hanger just a tad strong, and that allowed Elyashiv to beat him to the ball.
Yeah, great little bit of goalkeeping there. He didn't commit himself, and then when the moment was right, he stepped in and won the ball. Good keeping.
Skelton trying to shield away. He's got 3 black jerseys around him, and Anderson comes away with it. Here come the Trojans. Now a run far side, ball in the box. Skelton gets a foot on it, and now got a little bit of time, and he'll deliver it on. Knight trying to work an angle and get the ball back. Anderson going to be called for a foul. The Trojans have been very fast and very physical here early on.
Great hold-up play there by Knight. He's done Lander favours there. They're a little bit under the cosh. Ball kind of, not really. Obviously, it was played towards him, but a little bit hopeful clearance. He's done well to hold up and draw a foul. And now we're further up the pitch and near to their box. Oh, he's done well again.
Trojans coming back the other way. Ball sent into the middle to Lee, and now a long ball ahead to Kula. They'll be over everybody.
Oh, no. Great defending there.
Knocker sends it on. And Brian trying to win it back for the Bearcats. Trojans played along the line. Nice pass.
Great flick. And again, he's done well.
Tried to make something happen there. He's going to send that one over the line, and another goal kick coming up for Withers. And your winner today will face the winner of Young Harris and Tusculum. That's the 1-4 matchup. Anderson, so far in this regional, is the only team that has pulled an upset as they stormed back against Limestone in a match that looked, for all intents and purposes, to be over.
Should have been over.
Yeah, the Saints would certainly say so. They held a 2-goal lead with 15 minutes remaining. And then Kahula struck in the 76th minute. And then in the 88th minute, it was Ryan Trier. And then, as you mentioned, Ian, Harry Ward, just a minute and 37 seconds into overtime, stunned the Saints with the game-winning goal. And Anderson punches their ticket to the semifinal. They outshot the Saints 10-5 in the second half in overtime.
Yeah, I was looking at their results. I mean, obviously their overall results, as in wins, ties, and losses, they've not great play night. Sorry, they've not posted something that typically for this region would get you in previous years. But yeah, I was looking as well. They've done. Every game's been tight. When they've won one by 1 or 2. When they've lost, they've only lost by 1 or 2. They've never blown a team out or taken a huge hit. So that's promising for them. Like, they come back from Anderson, they never believe they're out of a tie. They're never out of a tie, and they're always switched on at the back. And going forward, they believe they can score, believe they can defend well, like they have done.
This team really flipped a switch when the calendar turned to October. These Trojans, they dropped a 2-1 or a 1-0 decision in double overtime at Queens, as there's a dangerous ball, but Elyashiv comes out to slide and scoop it up. And a loss at home to a top 20 Queens club, that dropped them to 2-4-1 on the season. And then they rattled off a 10-match unbeaten streak, going 8-0-2 in their next 10 matches, and charged all the way into the South Atlantic Conference Championship match, where they ultimately fell to the Tusculum Pioneers 2-1. But they came into this tournament with a ton of momentum, going 8-1-2 in their last 11 matches, and then extending that impressive run with a win over Limestone in extra time.
Yeah, their home form this year was ridiculously good. I think they were like 7-1-0 at home, and then away from home they've been 4-4-2. So, on the road, they've not been as good, as consistent. So, hopefully for Lander, that will continue in their vein today.
Well, if you want to talk about a team that's been good at home, the Lander Bearcats have been so good on this patch of grass. As a big shot there from North, but just too much.
Oakley, you've got to win this. You had to win that, Oakley.
Long ball. Here we go. One-on-one. Ward with Sandy around him. Tries to work away. Trying to free himself atop the box. Lander converges, left side, opening. They push it back, shot rolled in, and Lander dodges a bullet there.
Great defending there. Skelton sprinted back. He won the header at one end, then obviously Anderson countered, and Skelton's the one making the block. Decision making there from Oakley. Like I said about key moments in the game, he was the last defender, and he's pressed the ball, a ball that he's never really going to win. And he stepped up. Luckily, Sin, great speed, great defending to hold him up and wait for numbers. Good save.
Withers punches that one over the end line. No, pardon me, that did not get out of play.
Yeah,
finally.
I think he's given a corner. Yeah, Lino gave a corner.
Yeah, it will be a corner kick. Yeah, Lander tried to run it down in the corner. So now the Trojans will attempt their third corner kick of the period, and we're only in the 13th minute.
They're trying something short as well. Obviously, must have worked on that in training, going short, or maybe they don't fancy themselves in the air against Lander.
Well, and they've tried to pull Sandy towards that corner flag.
Oh my! Tusculum just hit their own post.
Pioneers and Mountain Lions doing battle down in Young Harris, Georgia. Obviously, we're keeping an eye on that one as well, because the winner of that match gets the winner of this match. And for the Bearcats, you've got to take care of business here today against the Trojans, as Anderson slips, regains the balance, and now trying to make a ball into the middle. Skelton was there to body it away and clear it out.
Look how deep we are there. Sorry, I was watching the Tusculum game when they had that corner, but yeah, Knighty's obviously should be our striker, but he's back defending with the height. Probably should be leaving someone long though, just in case that clearance from North happens, and then the ball's just going to come straight back.
As Ferguson sends it away.
I think it's still in, yeah.
It is still in play as the Trojans will work it back on their end. And the two winners will meet. And for Lander, if the Bearcats win and Young Harris falls, Lander is going to host the Southeast Region Championship. And I believe they'll actually be hosting the South Region Championship as well. Everyone went down to Lynn last year for the South-Southeast Super Regional, essentially. This year it's the Southeast turn to host, I believe. So Bearcats are 2 results from continuing their season here at home. Now, of course, if Young Harris wins, it's a moot point because as the top seed, the Mountain Lions will have priority, and they can host the Super Regional with a victory over Tusculum. But Lander, obviously, don't worry about that later. There's a nice ball in.
Yeah, speaking about home form earlier, you know, it is crucial. It may seem silly, but, you know your surroundings. You've got little, like, checkpoints. If you're as a defender, I had a little checkpoint like, oh, yeah, okay, that's where I am on the field. I've got this much room. And then as you travel away to home, it takes that just maybe 30 minutes to adapt to it. So that first 30 minutes in a huge game, which it will be, is really, really important to have that advantage. But Young Harris are, you know, good on the road as well this year, aren't they? I don't think they've lost a game anywhere.
Yeah, Mountain Lions have been good no matter where they've played this year, unbeaten on the season. Lander's the only team that's earned a draw with them in that conference tournament championship that Young Harris eventually won in PKs. Hanger with a nice weaving run into Trojan territory. Now Brock with the ball. He has to turn back around and send it over to Narker, as it looks like, as I see across the way, Thibaut Chrétien about to check in for Lander the next opportunity. Chrétien, first team all-conference selection for the Bearcats along with Skelton. Nice pass in the middle and North.
Here we go, Narker's wider. Oh.
Jamie North looking for help.
Switch.
Cross it over to
He's offside.
Hanger, and the offsides call is made.
Yeah, you know, looking at T, you just got to look at him to know he offers something different. So, you know, that'll be something for Anderson to adapt to. It might take a little bit of time for the fullback. I imagine he'll come on the wing, whether it's North or Rich, who he replaces. That fullback's going to have something different. T offers a lot. There's a reason he's in the first team all conference.
Imagine that Brian might be the one he comes on for. Brian was dealing with injury during the tournament. He actually did not play in the semifinal against Clayton State. Lander was really banged up during that tournament. They played the semifinal without Brian and without Michael Leach. And then in the championship didn't have Tyler Bolton available. So I imagine that if Coach Squire...
Ty's now warming up. Don't know if that might be something to look for in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, you're right. Bolton down there jogging around the corner flag as Anderson works the ball back in the middle with the pass off target, and Jamadar comes away with it. Jamadar going to give it ahead to North. North wants to turn. Now versus direction. Back to Jamadar. Well, Bolton took part in a full warm-up pregame and looked like he was ready to go. He's got some tape on that hamstring.
Yeah, I think the last couple of days, speaking to the boys, he's been back full training, looking quite sharp.
You certainly would love to get his presence back on the pitch. Not that there's a huge drop-off with who Lander's got in the match now, obviously, but just a guy that's played in so many big matches. But that really goes for the majority of this team. This is a very veteran-laden squad for Lee Squires. This is, in now his 4th season, his first recruiting class. This is their senior campaign, so there's a lot of guys on that pitch that have played a lot of really intense minutes here for the Bearcats.
Yeah, I think nearly, well, how many is it? 8 or 9 people have been in this environment before, whether it's nationals or even this stage. Obviously, the first 2 years, a lot of these boys were here. Unfortunately, we went out on the Friday, and then last year we got through the Sunday as well. But play advantage. Here we go, Knight.
Here
go
comes
on.
Knight right side. Knight looking for
Square
help.
it.
Off
Oh, what a
shot
block.
deflected, and Anderson got there in time. O'Brien had a great look at it, and the Trojans just got back defensively to prevent the goal. Now Narker trying to get it free. Left side it comes to Brian. Knight calling for it. Ball sent on, offsides flag up.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Big moments, big games, big players. What a block that is. I'm not sure who it was. I think it was 16, sliding in from across the right-back position. He has saved Anderson there. Great tackle.
Well, But a beautiful job done by the Trojans there, as it could have been disaster for Anderson and brilliance for Lander. Instead, we remain scoreless. As I look on the replay, trying to get the number, I believe you're right, Ian. I believe that was Bar Galanti, the freshman from Israel. Made a fine play to save a Bearcat goal. North's got Hanger if he wants him.
Yeah, Lander's starting to grow in this game now. 20 minutes in, nerves have settled. They're now getting more of the ball, getting it down and actually playing. You know, it's less end-to-end. That first 5 minutes was so intense. It's good to see the boys finally settling down and starting to play the way we know we can.
And Knight called for the header there, and just the ball drifted a little bit, sent him back towards the top of the box. The ball out of play. A throw in for the Bearcats, and we'll have substitutions for the first time today as Chrétien comes on, and he'll replace Luke Narker. That'll push Brian back into a more defensive role, and Chrétien will come on and infuse this lineup with some additional speed and ball skill as Ferguson chased back, reverses course to Narker. Check it to Hanger.
Great ball. I think he's off though, yeah.
He is indeed. There's a third offsides call of the day against Lander, and they've all come in the last few minutes. And looking down on the pitch, you know, we've talked throughout the year about how many times Lander, just from a size standpoint, a height standpoint, seems to have such an advantage. But I look down on that front line for Anderson, and obviously the Bearcats still do have a bit of advantage with, you know, the towering figures of Ferguson and Skelton, but there's some size on this Trojan club as a foul whistled against the Bearcats in minute 21.
Yeah, 17, Cameron Emerson. He's a big lad. He's kind of drifting all over the field. I was looking at him earlier. I wasn't really sure where he was playing. Oh, here we go. Go on, T.
Here comes Chrétien.
Here's another big moment.
Right side with Knight on the left. Ball sent in just beyond Knight's reach. And Chrétien can't believe it.
He's been doing that all year. I don't know if he's lacking confidence or what. He shouldn't be. You know, that first team all conference, he's been given to him for a reason. He did it in a few games. He did it a few times in one game. I can't remember. It might have been a Flagler game. He's in a perfect opportunity. Just shoot, you know. Even if the keeper makes a save, chances are from that angle it's going to drop into the middle where he ended up trying to pass it to Knight. But if he just shoots, worst thing that's going to happen is it's going to get saved. But that just led to nothing.
Yeah, Chrétien on the year, he's got 2 goals and 5 assists, so it hasn't exactly, you know, lit up the box scores, but the coaches in the Peach Belt Conference obviously acknowledging his talent and what he brings to the pitch. There's a long ball sent ahead. Withers will come out and grab it on a hop. Against Clayton State on the road back on October 24th, he had his finest match of the year, 1 goal and 1 assist in a 4-0 rout of the Lakers.
Now we're starting to see us getting in behind now. It's good to see. Obviously, this early in the game, like I said, they're going to get tired. The front two here just shifting back and forward. That's going to accumulate throughout the game. Midfield is now shifting. Pockets are opening up for the likes of Osnorth and Sia. And obviously, the gaps in behind are there for Sin and T. Knight is doing well up top. So, yeah, it's looking promising now for Lander. Now we've actually settled down and started playing our game.
Yeah, that speed and the pressure that Anderson was applying in the opening minutes that was just really eye-opening, that has kind of dwindled away now. Not to say that they're fatigued already, but they've kind of backed off and are playing a more traditional style. And Lander seems to be growing a little more confident.
There's that pocket. Oh, I thought he was going to switch it.
Yeah, Hanger had a lot of space near side, still does. The ball sent right side onto Chrétien. Chrétien going to try to turn the corner, had it shielded away from him, fighting to maintain it, and a whistle and a foul on Tebow, and that will give Anderson possession. Glad to have you with us this afternoon on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. Fortunate that we were able to bring you NCAA postseason action as the Lander Bearcats at home in the NCAA tournament after having to go on the road last year to the defending national champions, the Wingate Bulldogs, where they worked their way in a victory in the opening round and then upset the defending champs in PKs to earn their spot in the Southeast Region Championship. But here's the 2 seed at home. Chrétien with space right side, crosses it in, but the ball headed away.
Yeah, if I remember rightly, I think when we were at Anderson, the goal came from a cross as well. Knight was playing out wider that early in the season. I can't remember. I think it was down that far end to the right of the camera. So that could be another little promising sign for Lander. You know, they know how to score against this Anderson team. They've done it before. That could come into play. Oh, great. Oh.
Chrétien called for the offsides infraction, number 4 on the day.
Yeah, I don't know if that was T or North. One of them, I thought North might have been offside, but that pass to T was a little bit early, yeah. If North had left that pass, I think T might have been in, but I'm not too sure from over here.
Bearcats are back at home in the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2013. It's the last time that they hosted an NCAA tournament match here in Greenwood. They're in their 4th consecutive NCAA tournament. That's the second longest run in the history of the program. Only the 5-year stretch from 05 to 09 tops this current run that they're on.
Yeah, this season really has been 4 years in the making. Obviously, the seniors came in after a very, very difficult year, my first year. And, you know, they completely changed the program, the way we played. And as they've grown and progressed, the team has grown and progressed. We've looked better each and every year. We've won more awards. We've reached further in the NCAA tournament and a better record.
That shot wide to the far post. I'm going to say it was deflected by Lander. Corner kick coming up for Anderson.
Oh, 1-0 Young Harris.
The Mountain Lions take the lead.
That was a good goal.
Young Harris up on Tusculum now 1-0. That one is in the 21st minute. So it looks like
number 3 scored it.
So the Mountain Lions getting on the board early in that one. Again, winner of that match plays the winner of this match.
They're still not swinging in corners, which, I mean, is it? Oh.
There's a dangerous one. Jamadar able to flick it out of danger.
Here we go, 2v1.
Chrétien and Hanger.
Down the line. There we go. Go on, Oakley.
Deflected by Anderson.
Oh.
And then Hanger trying to keep it in play. And we'll have a whistle against Hanger.
Sorry, a bit of a silly foul, really. He's going nowhere. His only option was to go back to the keeper. But, yeah, that 17 started really sharply. He's been everywhere.
Yeah, Emerson. And that play really started. It looked like, again, Galanti, the freshman, he deflects that Chrétien pass. If that ball got through unobstructed, I think Hanger's got a lot of space to maneuver as Knight tried to chase that one down.
Yeah, he had the whole of that half to run into. That was a really important touch by the lad.
Now Ward trying to make something happen to Galanti. Chrétien poked it free. The 27th minute. He's going with the header.
Oh.
Ball deflected on, and Withers collides with the near post as he leaps up to save it. Jamadar, I think, got a piece of it with his head and wanted to clear it away, and instead it deflected back towards the goal, and Withers had to save an own goal.
Yeah, good save. Difficult that. It was looping under his bar. Did well to watch it. You know, I thought he was going to flick it over, to be honest, from here, but you know, he decided to catch it, and well done to him. Good safe hands, like he's been all year.
Ferguson back to Withers. Being chased, and he'll get it out of danger. Tense moments there for the Bearcats. Now beautiful ball on to Knight. Knight in a lot of traffic, however. Anderson converged on him and took it away.
Good itch.
But Sandy will have it back. Hanger on to Chrétien. Chrétien ahead. Hanger on the run. Crossing it too high. He had Knight in the middle and Bryan on the far post and just airmailed it.
Obviously, that was promising up the other end of the field, but I took a quick glance back, and we were 2v2 at the back there, Skelton and Kyle against their number 2 and number 8. I thought Tusculum scored. Sorry. Yeah, we were 2v2 at the back. That's what Ty gives us. You know, Oz and C are obviously fantastic midfielders, but their thoughts are going forward rather than Ty, who's sitting there protecting the back 2. So that might be thought thought for later on in the game, just to shore up a little bit, because 2v2, obviously you fancy Skelton and Kyle, you know, they've been superb all year, consistently, and both of them made all-team conferences, didn't they? But that might be a little bit concerned later in the game, as it's getting more and more stretched, just to think a little bit more defensively, obviously.
Knight tried to get it free there. Sandy had it for a moment, lost his footing. Now it goes to Knight. Knight's got Chrétien to his left and North to his right. He's going to send it on to North. North on the right side. Trojans have a man down back in midfield, but they'll play on. North going to send it in, deflected away. Got it back in front of the flag. Going to cross it once more. Knight and Chrétien are there. Chrétien with the right foot. Chrétien to the top of the box. Chrétien fires, shot blocked. Still free. Brock now pokes it left side. Brock looking for help with Knight in the middle. Brock reverses. Left side shot on the way. And saved by Elyashiv.
Yeah. Anderson had a man sent off here last time they were here. I can't remember who it was. I looked on the stats earlier, but I can't remember who it was.
A great tackle from Hanger.
Play him inside.
Sandy looking for help, trying to find someone onside, rather. Sends it right. There's still a man down for the Trojans.
Yeah, he must really be struggling. I'm right. I mean, if they put it out now, they got to put it out, surely. Yeah,
Lander will give it back to him. And they will knock it out of play. Yeah, the injured Trojan, he'd been down there for about 2.5, 3 minutes. As the Bearcat attack just would not let up. Yeah, it's Esteban Lee, you're right, the freshman from La Paz, Bolivia. And you're right, he sat there for a long, long time as Lander just continued to try to mount an offensive attack. And see Hanger there with his hands on his knees as the Bearcats put a lot of energy into that little stretch right there. Clock is stopped here in the 30th minute. We are scoreless in Greenwood, South Carolina between Lander and Anderson. Winner gets either Young Harris or Tusculum. That match is currently in minute 24. Mountain Lions lead the Pioneers 1-0 as boy, Lee is being helped off, and he's not putting any weight on that foot. Well, you hate to see that.
Not sure. I think someone in here just said Leachy's coming on for Sia.
Yeah.
So obviously that's not a like for like. Maybe North will be dropped back into centre mid, and then Leachy pushed out wide.
And Michael Leach, the senior from Wigan, England, he's more of a true forward. North a midfielder, but he had been working in more of an attacking position. Jamadar will check out.
Oh no, Sin's dropping in centre mid. Oh yeah, sorry, Sin was wider.
Yeah, Sinclair Sandy back to the middle of the formation for Coach Squires. Anderson and Lander, the Trojans led by head coach Michael Zion, sitting with an 11-5-3 record on the season.
I'm not sure. I think the refs have him word on that number 5. Just as that play was developing, right after that 23 went down, as Lander had that little bit of a counter, 5 lunged in. I was looking. I think they've had 7 red cards and like 30 odd yellows 28 yellows this year. I know I keep banging on about it, but your legs get tired playing Friday, Sunday. Obviously, Lander did it last week. Anderson did it last week, and then again this week. They're going to get more tired. They can't afford to pick up silly yellows now, because later on in the game, when it gets more stretched and they're going to be chasing, that's going to probably favour Lander as, you know, we'll be countering. They can't really foul you. So later on in the game, they need to be a little bit tighter now, a little bit less aggressive, and because later on in the game, that will probably favour Lander.
Trojans go to the bench, and Vinny Vega, the junior from Brazil, into the match now for Coach Zion as Knight knocked to the ground. Ball poked out of play off of Knight.
I don't really see how it's not a foul or a corner. Cause
Knight agrees as he sits in the corner and now giving a very thorough demonstration of what he felt just happened to him. But a goal kick coming for Elyashiv.
Stand there.
Ball sent to the far side. Galante calling for it. Instead, Elyashiv pushes it right. And now the ball sent on. Emerson is in the area, but the pass is off target.
Give him the ball.
Looks like
the ball. Anyway.
Hanger will throw it into Ferguson. Back to Skelton. Ward applying some pressure.
Oh, big touch.
Second,
Don't get there.
Not Ward, that was Burris actually. As Ferguson is upended. A whistle and a foul on Emerson.
I think he's giving a back against Kyle.
Yeah, the foul.
Took a bit of a risk with a heavy touch there in midfield and lunged in. His foot was a little bit raised. The ref was the wrong side of that, luckily. But I mean, if the Anderson player went down, you know, screaming, refs here tend to just give whoever's screaming the loudest. They give them the foul.
Skelton takes it on the back end. Over to Bryan. Ward really working as an annoyance to this Lander defense as he just continues to buzz around and pressure these Bearcat defenders. Ferguson tries to get a piece of it. Now Sandy pushes it on Chrétien. Back into the middle. Well done to win that ball and operate with some space now. Tapped on to North. North flicks it ahead. Trojans clear it away.
Not fouls well.
Yeah, they let him play on. Ball
Maybe this ref doesn't listen to who screams the loudest.
Maybe not. Skelton once again with the ball at his feet. He'll swing it near side as he and Ferguson play it back and forth.
Good enough, there you go. Bit of lack of movement there. That's why it was just going back and forward from Skelton and Kyle. They didn't really have any options further forward. Everyone was just watching, waiting for someone else to do it.
So throw it into Skelton. We are in the 34th minute and still scoreless. Long pass sent ahead. Ball sent on. Galante with Chrétien in hot pursuit. Pushes it on to midfield.
Great touch.
Sandy, a nice job to corral it. Now Ferguson again, shielding it from Burris, and back it goes to Withers. Withers on to Ferguson. So they go back and forth.
I'm not sure if Lander have changed their shape, maybe, because we're leaving 4 very, very high and then a huge gap in midfield. Rich is in there now. Typically it'd be Oz and Sin. But we've just left 4 high. Maybe Leachy's come in as a little number 10. Maybe I was wrong. Leachy's drifted in the 10 and North stayed wider.
Yeah, but you're right. Just looking at, there was an enormous pocket of field in the middle with no white jerseys. And I mentioned Chrétien and Leach and Hanger just kind of working at the very top of the pitch. Now a long ball sent ahead.
Good night.
Knight trying to win it. Just too many black jerseys got in front of him. And that ball deflected back towards the corner. And go against the Bearcats. We are in minute 35 between Lander and Anderson. NCAA Southeast Region semifinal. Winner on to the region championship. All fought for in midfield. Emerson headed to Burris, and then Sandy gets it back for Lander. Hanger over to Ferguson. Ferguson on to Withers, and Withers going to boot it away.
It's going to foul him. Yeah, there you go.
There was contact, and the
You
ball
can see that coming from a mile away. The lad just sprinted at him when the ball's in the air. It's always going to give away a foul.
Yeah, that was Lucas Mustajo, and then Mustajo actually, he goes to the ground in front of the Trojan bench, kind of after he collided with North, took a couple steps, and just kind of hunched over and went to the ground.
Might have ran into an elbow, ran into something else.
Yeah, hopefully this is just the wind knocked out of him. He's holding his torso there, so I got to imagine he just maybe caught an elbow or something in the stomach and trying to get his breath back.
Or maybe he'll learn not to sprint in like that again. He's always going to foul him. Stupid, really.
Yeah, he came in and plowed into North.
T's got all this space out here. If we can recognise that early. Lars is coming on. I'm not sure who's through.
Yeah, Kveseth about to check in for the Bearcats for the next opportunity. But, yeah, Emerson going to drift back there. Now, your Chrétien had about 30 yards of grass around him with nobody near him. The ball headed out by the Trojans.
3 for 21. Does it? Who just come off?
So Kveseth is coming in for Lander. Now Ward is checking out for Anderson.
I'm not sure who's on the floor. North, maybe?
Looks like Knight's coming out.
I think North landed awkwardly.
Yeah, North is North is over there to take the throw in.
Yeah, he's struggling now.
He's trying to get up. Check it, that's Brian who's got the ball in his hands, and North being tended to. Meanwhile, George Knight substituted out rather, as Lars Kveseth comes into the match. Kveseth, sophomore from Gjøvik, Norway.
I'm not sure what happened there. North like landed awkwardly. That might be a.
Yeah, they've taken him off to the far sideline and are looking at him. I'm not sure.
Looks like Joe Conway looks like he's getting ready. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Conway looks like he's going to come in as he confers with assistant coach Matty Evans and Rob Seaton, both with a quick word for him. And here comes Conway.
He looks in a little bit of discomfort, North. I hope that's nothing to do with that injury come back from.
Conway, the freshman out of Newcastle, England, going to check into the match now. A big spot for him in his NCAA debut. So Brian's going to take the throw in for the Bearcats. They'll send it into the box. Trojans get it out.
I don't know why we do that. We haven't really got anyone with a massive throw.
Yeah, Brian and Narker have been the two that have really handled the majority of the throw-ins in that area of the pitch. And you're right. Very often they're trying to get it all the way into the box. Nothing short. Skelton tried to win the header, lost the ball.
Oh, Carl, 2v1, open your shoulder.
And the Trojans get away with it. Ferguson got a touch on it, but not very strong, and Emerson still got it in play. Into the middle it goes. Sandy there.
Good sin. He's so good at that sin. Close control. He doesn't even know where he's going, I don't think, but he somehow managed to wiggle out of it.
Conway tried to win that header. Leach gets it on to Conway.
Here we go. Lars has got the run on me.
Conway near
pass.
side.
Go on,
threads
Leach.
it into
Square it.
Leach. Leach into the middle. Too far behind Kveseth and Conway.
Here we go. We're on top now. We're on top. Get a touch around
Brian
him.
again back in the middle. Brian weaving through traffic, but the Trojans close out on it. Again,
Can we make it count on top?
Brock to Chrétien. Chrétien left side. Chrétien working that right foot. Going to work to the right. Cross it on. Trojans headed away again. 38th minute of the first period. Lander trying to break this deadlock. Kveseth far sideline.
Great feet. Deliver. Oh.
Ball crossed in. Nobody home.
Now we've got to transition well.
And Trojans trying to get back offensively.
Well done, Lars.
Kveseth will slow everything down as he pokes it out of bounds.
Yeah, starting to create more and more little half chances now. It's good.
We are in the 38th minute. This first period, Lander Anderson scoreless thus far.
Have we had a shot yet?
I think there's been, let's check my stats here, I think at least one shot has been saved by
Oh, yeah, we must have done, yeah.
Elyashiv. There's not been many. As much as Lander's had the ball around the box, as that one rolled in easily.
Yeah, we've had a lot of possession, but I don't really remember much action in and around the box.
7 shots for the Bearcats, 5 for Anderson, 4 on target for Lander. Anderson's had 3 shots on goal. Elyashiv with 4 saves so far. Withers has made 3. The Trojans have had all the corners in this match, 4-0 advantage in that department.
I must be watching a different game then.
Well, Lander, you feel like the Bearcats might have had more opportunities had they not been called for offside 6 times so far in the first period. The fouls are even at 3 apiece. There haven't been many of those at all, despite some physical play. Referees have let a lot of stuff go today, and neither team has been booked yet.
Oh, got away with that. If we stepped a little bit higher, here we go, Sin. Oof,
Sandy
good,
trying to
great feet by
pressure.
25 there.
Yeah, nice job to work around him by Vega. Now a fight for the ball as Emerson shields Kveseth away. Sandy gotten in front of it, and Kveseth on to Chrétien.
Seems like both teams are leaving huge gaps in the middle.
They really are. Chrétien pushes it back to Hanger. Burris with a little token pressure. Bearcats working on Skelton now. Into the middle, Brock was there. Thought that pass might have been a little wide. Now Brock turns over to Hanger.
There you go, Leach. Oh, if he gave it the T wider there, Leach had just drifted inside, and he was there was a 3v2. Leach, Conway, and T were on 3v2 with their right back and centre half. Then
The Bearcats played on the back end.
confident there from Jacob.
Withers.
Play inside. There you go. There you go. Now the numbers
Hanger.
up.
Now Leach. And Leach going to send it ahead. Good ball, but a piece of it gotten by the Anderson back line. Chrétien tries to win it, but it goes back to the Trojans as the ball taken
We'll
by
get tight to him. Oh,
Peterson. Ferguson
good defending.
will roll it out of bounds. So he had the junior out of Madrid, Spain, closing in on him, Jan Vaca.
Number 9. So 9 and 11.
Anderson will go back to the bench. This is Shalev Keter.
You say that's the one who scored 2 the other day?
I hope so. Yeah, give me a count, please. Thank you.
You say that number 11 scored 2 Friday? Landis?
Yeah,
Is that
Johnny
one?
Landis. So he comes into the match. Throw it in near side.
Oh, great play down there. Good little interchange.
Ball crossed, but too strong. It's going to chase everybody to the far sideline. Trojans still with it. And now here comes Ward. Ball flicked ahead in the area and headed right into the arms of Withers.
That's a big chance there. Big chance. Friedo drifted in between Kyle and Sin, who were tracking him.
It was Landis who just came into the match. Yeah, he got in between the two defenders, and he heads that one directly into Withers' hands.
Huge moment. Huge chance. Friedo, what, 6 yards out it looked like? He
Yeah.
had the whole goal pretty much to hit. And he just straight to Jacob.
Bearcats
There you go. Switches on.
emerge unscathed.
Oh,
As they pass it on, Hanger going to try to keep it in play, and he does. Over to Chrétien. 42nd minute, still scoreless.
just.
Oh,
turning it.
Conway had an opportunity there, but the pass never got to him.
Someone would have told Leach as well. The centre half had dropped right off that 5. It dropped right off, almost assuming that the ball was trying to go into Conway, and he could have turned and driven at him then.
We've got 3 minutes remaining in the first period. Skelton with a long ball wants to go to Chrétien. It was shielded away, and was it touched? It was touched by Anderson. In minute 43, Chrétien will throw it in.
I think Oakley's just delaying it. Oh no, we're getting in. You go, give it back to him.
Touched back by Sandy. Foot race for it. Hanger
tackle.
slides and keeps it in possession. Well done. A long
What a
ball
pass.
ahead to Kvesev.
Go on. Oh,
Kvesev turns back into the middle. Back to Brock. Brock going to send it on. And wide left, Chrétien.
yeah, I don't think anyone was looking at T then.
Now, Chrétien went down in the box, but nothing given. And
He
so-
may very well have been touched there, but ref and Lino didn't really look like they were looking at the ball and just waved it away straight there.
So now a goal kick for Elyashiv as the clock will tick on into minute 44. Elyashiv puts his right foot into it. Going to send that one just shy of midfield. On to Landis.
Standing room only, is it?
Just got the attendance count back, and there's going to be a new record here in Van Taylor Stadium once we get the final tally. 90 seconds to go here in Greenwood, South Carolina. Lander and Anderson scoreless.
Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of Anderson fans out this right window.
And the Trojans,
Yeah, they're all up against the gate.
the Trojans made a great showing. Now, it's not that far of a drive, and this place was pretty packed when Limestone and Anderson were here on Friday night. I mean, this was a very strong showing from both fan bases this weekend.
Yeah, Anderson's only, what, 45 minutes away, which
Not a bad drive at all.
compared to some of the places you have to go, it's
You make the trip from Anderson and from Gaffney. That's what the Saint and Trojan fans had to do Friday. Two teams that are obviously very familiar with the way up here and with this Lander program. They play each other practically every year in non-conference play. Bearcats and Limestone
Great
didn't
feat.
play this year because the match was rained out. It was supposed to be held in Gaffney. 20 seconds to go. Anderson trying to counter, but the pass is off target.
Here we
Hanger
go,
comes
last
away
chance
with
of
it.
the half.
17 seconds. Hanger, a strong touch. Trojan's going to get it back. Hanger wins it on.
Just going to just smack it.
I don't think anybody's going to get a chance at a real good shot here.
Just going to try it, though.
And it's going to be ushered wide of the goal. And we've played 45 scoreless minutes here in the NCAA Southeast Regional Semifinals. No score between the Bearcats and the Trojans. We'll step aside. Second half action. When we return to Greenwood, you're listening to Bearcat Soccer on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. welcome you back to Van Taylor Stadium in Greenwood, South Carolina. Second period about to get underway. This NCAA Southeast Regional semifinal match between Lander and Anderson. Rickson Lane alongside former Bearcat Ian Folger. Ian, as we look at the first half, Lander and Anderson kind of feeling each other out there in the opening minutes. The pace from Anderson kind of slowed down after the first 5 minutes. Lander seemed to get more comfortable. But you look at the stats, and incredibly even, 8 shots to 7 in favor of Lander. Bearcats had 5 on goal. Anderson had 4, so Elyashiv for Anderson with 5 saves and Withers with 4. Corner kicks favored Anderson 4-0. Offsides, 6 infractions by Lander, none by Anderson. And the fouls are even at 3-3, so you look at the opening 45 minutes and 2 fairly evenly matched teams, and we'll see if fatigue becomes a factor here in the second period, as the Bearcats had the week off last week. Anderson's playing their second time in 3 days.
Yeah, as you said, it was very, very close first half. Similarly to Anderson's season, really. You know, they've been close, not blowing teams away at one end, not conceding loads at the other. They've given themselves a good account, and you know, obviously that's why they're at this stage. They're not there for no reason. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they go about this second half. Like you said, fatigue will come into it, obviously for both teams. However, it was set in earlier for Anderson just because they played just 2 days ago. Looks like Lander made a couple of changes. Ty's coming on. Ty's come on centre mid, and Joe staying up top for. It looks like Leach has come off from the half time.
The Bearcats and Trojans here in the second period on the pitch. Sandy tries to make his way right side. Sandy going to swing it on too strong. Trojans headed it away, but Chrétien off the chest, ball lobbed in, and an easy grab for Elyashiv. Anderson's got Ward, Trier, Kola, Landis, Goodwin, Peterson, San Juan, Galanti, Vaca, Mustajo, and Elyashiv on the pitch. Meanwhile, the Bearcats with Knight, Bryan, Skelton, Ferguson, Brock, Conway, Sandy, Jamadar, Chrétien, Withers, and Hanger. So Narker and North, who started the match, not on the pitch right now for Lander. They're replaced by Conway and Chrétien.
Yeah, I think North, who might be done for the day, he fell a little bit awkwardly. Speaking to a couple of the subs at half-time, they said he's been strapped up just to protect it, so I think he's done for the day. Narker, though, could still play a part in this game.
Well, Jamie North, one of Lander's top goal scorers on the season, and really, I mean, if you're looking at in terms of the numbers that these players have put up for Lander, Jordan Skelton technically leads the team in goals, but 5 of those have come on penalty kicks. He's only had 2 goals that have come off of plays that are of the non-penalty variety. Meanwhile, Jamie North has 4 goals. That's the second most on the team. Opportunity is Elyashiv. Sky's up to grab that one.
Yeah, building on your point there, both teams, I was obviously watching Lander all year, and then I was looking at the Anderson stats just this morning. Goals can come from anywhere. You know, a defender could score the winner, or your strikers could score the winner for either team. Anderson has shared out the goals. I think they've got a couple on 6, maybe 2 on 5, few on 4, 3, 2. It goes down the list. They're just spreading them out, same as Lander. No, it's not really a set number 9, that's going to score all your goals from this year, which, is good for both teams. But obviously, it's
There's
not.
a chance. Bryan, pardon me, right side rolls it, just missed the far post.
Yeah, just what we're talking about. A defender running in on goal.
Yeah,
if we're being highly critical, should have done better. Maybe he had a little bit more space to drive into and just dragged it a little bit wide.
Yeah, Bryan, a defender coming up with that wide wing. But yeah, between these two teams, you've got 24 different players who have scored this season. 10 different Trojans and 14 different Bearcats have scored. Lander's top scorer is Skelton with 7. Lars Kaula with 6 for the Trojans.
Speaking of goals, I just got a text from Sam Loft saying, mention how we're missing his goals.
Yeah, Sam Loft's now part of that coaching staff at Newberry, and former Bearcat striker. And certainly, I think that's really been one of the only really missing piece for this Bearcat team this year.
Oh, cheers, Rickson. Thank you very much.
They miss you too, obviously, but just from a team standpoint, the defense has been incredibly effective. You've got good keeper play throughout the year, but there's really not been the one player that you know, hey, this guy is going to be able to find a way to score. Now, they've got guys who can score, obviously, with North, Jamadar, Knight, Leach, Brock, Chrétien. You know, all those guys are possibilities to put the ball in the net, but there's not really that one guy, like, for instance, what Young Harris has with Mikey Rowe. There's not one guy that you count on and say that's one who's going to find a way to score.
Yeah, you know, the last couple of years we have had Sam posting 10-plus goals, which has helped huge. You know, you've got a big number 9 to look forward to. I mean, we've chopped and changed so much that number 9, you've never really had a set one, you know. Rob started the year. He's not played much towards the end of the year. Leachy's been up there. George has been up there. Bryce has been up there. Joe's now up there. You know, we've got 5 or 6 players who do play up throughout the game. So, like you're saying, that Mikey Rowe, he's probably their only, well, they got that tall lad, but.
Yeah, Seba Andreasen can also fill that need for him. But just to have that one guy that you know match in and match out, as Anderson's got a player go down, clock will stop here in minute 51, probably 51, and that was number 25, Vinny Vega, the junior defender from Brazil.
Yeah, don't let you viewers be fooled by the sun, because it is very cold out there. A ball to the face will hurt a lot.
Yeah, this walking around at halftime, and there's a lot of Bearcat and Trojan fans bundled up down beneath us. And
yeah, I saw Bryce at halftime, and I just you know, asked how he was doing. It just one word reply: cold.
52 degrees at the moment here in Greenwood, South Carolina. I think both these clubs are thankful to be playing this match at 1 in the afternoon as opposed to 7 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, or in North Carolina as well.
That's true. Yeah, Limestone and Anderson had to deal with the cold on Friday night. As Knight tries to win the ball down in the corner, can't quite get to it.
I think he's offside. Yeah, there you go. What's that, number 7 offside now?
The 7th offsides infraction against the Bearcats today. Anderson has not been called for it yet. Bearcats also have not had a corner kick in this match. Set pieces, as you mentioned, of such importance at this part in the season. Anderson has had 4 of them, all in the first half. Meanwhile, down in Young Harris, Georgia, the top-ranked Mountain Lions with a 1-0 lead over the 4 seed in the region, the Tusculum Pioneers. Winner of that match gets the winner of this contest. And the decision of where that match will be played will come down to who wins these 2 matches. If Young Harris wins, then it does not matter if Lander or Anderson advance. But if Tusculum scores the upset, then the Bearcats with a win would get to host the championship. If Anderson and Tusculum both advance, as that ball sent over the net by Emerson, if we get 2 upsets today, then Tusculum, I believe, is going to be hosting up in Greenville, Tennessee. But all that will settle itself over the next 30 to 45 minutes, or perhaps longer if we go into extra time. Brian back to Skelton, who puts both palms to the ground. Trying to settle this Bearcat club in.
Yeah, just similarly to the first half, not really settled down yet. Getting a lot of messages from the alumni now. Brian Reels just texted me saying, been a long time since I've seen Brian and played with him.
There's a lot of interest in this match as we thank those of you joining us on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. It's been great to bring you men's soccer action all season long, and also plenty of folks who were interested enough to come out to the match as Lander has shattered the single match attendance record. 680 fans on hand today. That broke the record they set earlier this season in the Young Harris match by over 130 people. As the ball sent out, throw into Anderson. Obviously, Bearcat fans have not had a chance to watch this team live in the postseason at home since 2013, last time the NCAA tournament was in town. This ball knocked free, and Anderson gets it back.
Great flick. Good touch. Can we get it wider now? Here we go, T. Ball's in. Oh, Sin was in there. Great touch from T. Forcing it down the line and then come inside where that gap had opened up. Good pressing from Joe. Ball behind corner to get across. Good defending out for a goal kick. It Skelts. If anyone's wondering where Rickson's gone, because I'm not talking very much, he's just taken a call. I think the camera's gone dead or something. I don't know if the live streams have been affected, but if it has, you probably can't hear me anyway. Great pass. Oh.
Here in now minute 57. Bearcats trying to win the ball far side. Anderson boots it back towards midfield. Emerson with the header. Now Ward trying to fight his way around Ferguson. Ferguson, a nice job to keep that ball away from him. Now here comes Hanger.
Give it us.
In the middle,
great
flicked on, well done.
Stay on side, Joe.
Chrétien weaving.
Oh,
Ball lost over the end line.
Yeah, corner.
Corner kick Lander. For the first time today, the Bearcats will have a corner.
Corner kick for Lander.
In the 57th minute, Lander with an opportunity.
I didn't see what happened.
And over the goal. Bearcats didn't really get a good crack at that one at all. So now the Trojans back at the goal kick. In this scoreless contest, winner advances, loser will see their season come to an end. Corner was actually short corner to Chrétien. He fed it to Brian left of the post, and Brian's shot was off target. There's Brian again. Has the ball deflected. Anderson came away with it for a moment, and Brian won it back again. Now Tyler Bolton, who we did not see in the first period, he's into the match.
Yeah, we've not really said a lot about Ty today, which is oh,
Hello.
I didn't see that coming.
I did not, neither did the young man who just lost his cell phone. Ball ricocheted off the roof and popped somebody and knocked a phone out of someone's hand. As the Bearcats trying to win it. And
there you go. That's the thing I'm on about. Whoever screams the loudest. I thought that was a good tackle there.
Yeah, let's say we've had a lot of things go unnoticed, and I thought that was going to be a play on, but Mustajo called for the foul on Sandy. And no judgment, not being critical of the officials. They've let a lot of contact go and let the guys play. Certainly not a problem. If it's the consistent way you're going to call the match throughout the day, then so be it, and teams will adjust. And these refs have not inserted themselves into the match, which is perfectly fine. Knight had a look at a header.
Hey, high foot ref.
Yep, here it comes.
Wonder if he's going to book him for this. Yeah, there you
He
go.
is. Here's our first booking of the day. So quickly, Mustajo with a foul
Yeah,
and
dangerous
a
that.
yellow card.
Oh, we were talking about this just last night. If North was on the pitch about free kicks, I said go under the wall, but
Only the second yellow of the year for Mustajo, and now looks like Oliver Brock is going to attempt this free kick in front of a 5-man wall for the Trojans.
scored a great free kick in that semi-final, didn't he, last Friday?
A beautiful shot that he just buried under the crossbar to give Lander the lead on Clayton State.
Perfect distance. Perfect distance. It's not too, I know the free kicks that are right up on that 18-yard line. A lot of people struggle to get it up and down over the wall. I mean, that 10 is a big lad. He might struggle to get this up and down.
Yeah, there's this
I don't know why they were holding their hands up though, because I mean, if it hits them, it's going to be a penalty. Oh.
Ball got through, and it was deflected and then booted over the crossbar. Oh, two bang-bang opportunities for Lander. Brock got it through the wall. It was punched by Elyashiv, and then someone got a header on it, and it just missed the corner. Oh, the Bearcats had 2 shots at that one. Take a look back at the replay.
I went through the wall. Who is it?
I think it went off of
Kyle?
Ferguson. Yeah, Ferguson got it on his chest.
Here we go, press on, great tackle. Oh, referee,
They're
wow.
gonna call it. They're gonna call it on Brock.
Slid in, looked like he got the ball from here. But if we won that back, it was 4v1.
Yeah, Lander.
Right on the edge of the box.
Bearcats had all sorts of numbers. Yeah, that ball came through. Trying to look at where it went, right in between the far left and man next to him.
Yeah, the wall split. I'd imagine I think the keeper was not happy about something, and now looking back at that, I realise why.
Yeah, the wall just kind of separated, and Brock put it right in between them, and he punches it right into Ferguson's chest. And Ferguson, because he was racing in, he really had no opportunity to try to aim that ball. He just kind of ricocheted off of him and went wide of the corner.
Oh.
Nothing that Kyle could have done about it. So we continue in this scoreless match in minute 61.
Corey done well to wriggle out of that feet. Oh, great feet, T. Foul.
Chrétien was pulled down from behind, or pulled from behind, rather. Now Brock will take the free kick for Lander. So Anderson.
Go on, just give it to us there.
Ozzy gets it right back.
Rich is in behind.
And the Trojans, after committing just 3 fouls the entire first half, have been called for 3 here in the opening 16 minutes of the second period. This is Sandy.
Great
He's going to turn around.
And again.
On to Brock in the middle. Brock with pressure. Maintains and gives back to Bolton. Bolton on to Ferguson.
T spun in behind. Oh, if you recognise that.
Instead, it goes to Hanger. Ferguson is going to clear it all the way back to Withers. We're in the 62nd minute. Lander and Anderson scoreless. Long ball from Ferguson. He's got Knight. If it can stay in play, it can't. Pass flew into the tree line.
Is this Leachy coming on?
It looks like Michael Leach, the senior forward, coming in.
For Conway.
And Joe Conway, who's coming in and giving the Bearcats some valuable minutes here today. And hats off to the freshman out of England. He had really not seen a ton of action this year. And Conway, hailing from Newcastle, he's only played in 8 matches all season.
Yeah, he's never really got, oh, great pass. Because that drops over his head.
On to Bryan. Headed away by Anderson.
Throw in.
Bryan will let it roll out of bounds for a throw in.
Let's see if we do that long throw in again. I think they've nipped that in the bud.
Yeah, Bryan doesn't look like he's going to launch this one. Short to Sandy. Gives it right back to him. Now Bryan wants to cross.
Great delivery.
Good ball.
Oh,
Chrétien was there, but again, it was Galante.
Yeah, great defensive header at that back post. T was flying in, and good defensive header by 16, like I said. Here we go, ball inside. Hit it. What a strike! Oh, good save. Might have been more comfortable than what I first thought, but at the end of the day, I had to keep it out, and he's done well. Great strike from Oakley. Set pieces again, you know. Like I said, late as this game gets later now, 25, 26 minutes left. A set piece, a mistake, a moment of magic is what this game's going to come down to. Skelton and Kyle have done so well in the box this year. Obviously, 90 as well is a huge threat. There he is. Oh, I thought he's dropped to him.
Ball still free.
Kyle's down in the box.
Yeah, Kyle is slow to get up. Now Ferguson on his feet.
keeper's going to come and get that.
Chip back in.
Yeah, well done, keeps commanding.
Oh, Yeshiv went up and got it overnight.
If he can bring this down, he could be in trouble. Oof.
And misplayed there, and Sandy wisely sent it away. Nice touch from Brian, but nobody was back to get to it.
Is he offside? No.
Skelton will head it on to Withers. Ward wanted a foul as Bolton had him tangled up. They didn't get it.
Yeah, I think that would have been a harsh to give that against Ty. Looks like a lot of people slipping over.
I was just about to say, a Chrétien falls. Brian had just slipped a moment ago, and you know this pitch Friday did take a lot of
Great
rain.
tackle.
The ball out of bounds.
Yeah, it's had a lot of matches on it this year.
And then you're dealing with your second match in a day, or in 3 days rather, and the surface was wet on Friday. And we saw, Lander fans know what the weather did to some soccer matches around the region. The women's NCAA tournament match was delayed an entire day.
Good tackle.
Nice sliding tackle there by the Trojans, as that was Estrepo, the senior from Duluth, Georgia, that came over and got in front of Brian. Back it goes to Skelton. In minute 65, Anderson and Lander scoreless. Here's
Great
Chrétien.
pass. There we go, another slip by ref.
And then Chrétien brought down. That's going to stop the clock, and we might get another booking here.
Yeah, cynical there. He'd slipped,
Yep.
tried recovering, and just bumped straight into T.
Yellow card has been issued.
Yeah.
Galante, I believe, picked it up. Bar Galante, the freshman out of Rashawn Lazion, Israel.
16 bar, Galante.
So in the 65th minute, the Trojans pick up their second yellow of the day. And a free kick coming. Galante's fourth yellow card of the year. And now the 30th yellow of the season for Anderson. So in the 65th minute, you'll see Brock with an opportunity as the Bearcats flood the box. Ball on the way in, but right into the arms of Elyashiv.
Important to get back now. Anderson, a flying man forward. Oz has got to track well with that 18 in the middle. I just wasted it anyway.
Yeah, Sandy takes that pass away.
Another slip again.
Yeah, the Trojans lost their footing. Now Sandy's got a lot of room. Feeds it to Chrétien. Chrétien, right side. Chrétien
Whoa, ball.
on,
Oh.
headed high by Leach. Knight tries to keep it alive. Out of play. Leach got his head on it and just sent it high over everything.
Yeah, as I was speaking earlier, you know, this game's probably, chances are it's going to be decided by 1 or 2 goals. So that could be a moment of magic, a set piece, or a mistake. And, you know, as this game goes on, it's looking like it's going to be a slip, to be honest with you.
Yeah, very likely that it could fall. Skelton
Defending Skelton.
trying to fight off Ward. Brian came over and tried
Yeah,
to
he's
knock
looked
it
sharp
away.
in. Did you say he's listed as a defender?
Yeah, Harry Ward had listed as a sophomore defender from Clarksville, Georgia, but
Oh, good tackle.
he's kind of been a defender the way George Knight's been a defender, and
Yeah.
that they're not defending. They're up top trying to score. And that ball deflected. Who's it off of? Off of Lander.
Skelton.
So the Trojans will throw it in. Oh, it's right in front of the goal. Lander's got to clear it, and they do. There was only one man back there for Anderson. It was Peterson, it looked like. And
Yeah, that surprised me as well. There was you know, typically if you're going to go a long throw, oh, good defending. Typically if you're going to do a long throw in, everyone crashes towards the front post. You got numbers to hit, and they had 2 come short, and that 10 just drifted in behind, or in between Skelton and Kyle, and it really came out of nowhere. I was looking short, and then he flinged in.
on the far sideline, throw in for the Bearcats.
Oh, good flick, great step.
Burris had it taken from him by Skelton. Sent ahead Chrétien, far sideline. And Chrétien Has it knocked out of bounds.
Yeah, another ref on another day could have given that a foul against Skelton. I know a few of the Anderson players and the Anderson bench are appealing. His studs were up, similarly to the one on Sin, but obviously if the Sin went with his head and the other guy went with his leg.
Ball near side to Sandy. Sandy
Deliver.
turns back to Brian. Brian gonna push it high.
Oh, he's offside.
Bearcats couldn't keep it. An offsides flag goes up again. Number 7 against Lander.
Looks like Sia's going through a little bit of more intense warm-up as well. He could be someone coming back off the bench.
Jemadar is in the starting 11. Another member of that senior class. He's seen plenty of battles, and you'd love to have him available here in crunch time. Throw into the Trojans, far sideline. Ball poked in. Right side, Trojans opportunity, shot high.
Yeah, good defending. Closed in on him quickly as soon as he took that first touch.
So Anderson threatens, but they do not score as we move into the 70th minute. Withers will
Shifting everyone over.
allow everyone to get set here.
Just going to try and hit Knight, he said. I think looks like Knight is drifted out to his right-hand side now, playing on the right. Then Leachy through the middle, Sin just in behind him. But like I said, same as the first half, we're throwing like 4 men forward up on that. Good header. Throwing 4 men, staying really, really high and leaving Ty and Oz almost to defend on their own. Good step. Here you go. Sin has got the run on him.
On, too strong. Peterson ushers it back to Ilyashiv. Battle for the ball, far sideline.
Oh, he's recovered well.
Anderson able to keep it alive.
Oh.
Now deflected. Again, they send it back to the keeper.
Go on, there you go. He don't know what he's doing, Leach. There you go, good.
Leach with the pressure. Knight tried to get it. Now pokes it back to Brian. In the middle, Brock with space.
Great pass again.
Sends it across. This is Hanger now. Hanger going to send it in. It's sent right back out. The ball knocked out of bounds.
If I was Lander, I'd keep it. I mean, I know now thinking about it, it doesn't drain as well over on that far side. So that's where everyone seems to be slipping down there, because obviously it's, you know, behind those shaded area with the trees. If we can get T running at that right back, he's already been booked. He's going to slip, probably commit. Or if he doesn't commit, then T's in. And if he does commit, he's going to have to bring him down and probably another yellow and he'll be off.
Yeah, could certainly apply some pressure there with the speed of Chrétien and combine that with the playing conditions. Again, this field has held up really, really well, all things considered, but there are some patches, as you mentioned, where those trees sit and the sun doesn't shine down on it to drain it and dry it. There's some spots over there that might be a little treacherous, especially for a defender who's scrambling to try to get in position. Burris in traffic, lost the ball as Hanger came away with possession, and Hanger's upended. Foul against the Trojans. Knight calling for the ball, but Lander going to have to redo.
Look at that.
Yeah, quite a crowd down at Young Harris as well as we look at the live feed. The Mountain Lions holding on to a 1-0 lead over Tusculum. Which you know that Young Harris would love to see this game here in Greenwood go into overtime. Of course, every team's going to get about a week to prepare no matter what, so the fatigue won't be quite as much as a factor as it is here in these regionals. We've got some teams that are trying to win twice in 3 days.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd love to see an Anderson win as well. They're probably fed up of seeing us this year and over the last few years. certainly that would be an interesting one, a rematch of last year's regional final as well.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone from Lander or Young Harris that's pulling for round 3 of that match. They've seen each other plenty in the last few seasons. The top 2 teams in the Southeast region, and according to the United Soccer Coaches Poll, 2 of the top 8 teams in all of the country.
Yeah, I think that's a... Oh, here we go.
Yeah, Chrétien takes the pass from Brock. Chrétien in the box, long cross, and there was nobody there. He had Leach racing into the box, but that pass was sent over the head of everyone.
Number 6 is coming on. 6 for 16. Oh, there you go. They're taking him off.
Yeah, Grayson Fry, the senior out of Hickory, North Carolina, replaces Galante. So interesting, the senior comes on to replace a freshman, but Galante has had a fine day today. But he did earn that yellow card a few minutes ago.
Yeah, he's defended well.
He's the one, if you remember back in the first half, slid in front of a shot attempt that would have put the Bearcats on top in the opening minutes. And now here in minute 74.
Looks like Robbie Young's coming on for Lander as well. He's just getting stripped. And 23, I think that is, for the other team. Anderson.
It'll be Young and Esteban Lee, who we saw helped off the field earlier today. The Trojans would certainly love to see Lee back in the match, and certainly glad to see he's okay, if indeed he is coming in.
Substitution for the Trojans, number 23.
Yeah, that's Esteban Lee. He's back in, and meanwhile,
16, sir.
Chrétien's going to come off for Lander at the next opportunity, and Robbie Young is going to take his spot.
I think it looked like 15 came off for... 15 might have come off for Anderson then.
Yeah, Lee replaces Juan San Juan, the junior from Greenville, South Carolina. 75th minute of action. We are scoreless here at Van Taylor Stadium. Rickson Lane and Ian Folger with you on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network, and substitution as Young will check on for Chrétien.
Substitution for the Bearcats now in, number 16. Robbie Young.
Like for like change there, Rob and T. Rob probably play more in the central role. Oh no! Oh wow, got away with that one. That's that slip I was on about. Could prove costly in the end of the game. Wow, that was lucky. Got away with that one. Did you see that?
I did.
Wow.
Knight trying to turn.
Good.
Ball out of play. We have throw into the Trojans.
Oh, here we go. Go on, Leach. Finish. Oh my God, no. How's he missed? Took around the keeper.
A missed opportunity there by the Bearcats. The senior from Wigan, England, nearly gave Lander the lead here in the 76th minute.
I think it was a short back pass. Leach intercepted it, took it around the keeper, and it almost rushed it. That's another huge, huge moment in this game. It's been 3 or 4 now. That slip from Jacob, obviously one. The goal line clearance. The save from Jacob in the first half.
Here comes
and
Knight.
then that miss. Roll him inside. Keep going.
Knight back in the middle. Too many black jerseys. And Knight taken down. No, they're going to call Knight for the foul, actually.
Yeah, I think he just dragged him down. Good recovery from, I can't see who that is, 25. Great turn from 18 inside. Wider now, Land a little bit more stretched. Great touch if he can recover. Oh no, he's got inside of Oakley. Yeah, goal kick. Game's getting more and more stretched now, last 12 minutes. Chances are going to start occurring more and more frequent now. I mean, like I said, there's been a few shots, but not really clear-cut chances. That one from Leach being one of maybe 2 or 3 this whole game. I'm just hoping it falls for the right person at the right time for Orlando, not the vice versa.
There's a bunch of black and gold faithful who would argue that point. They'd love to see the Trojans be able to knock through here. 78th minute. We are deadlocked at 0. Meanwhile, young Harrison Tusculum still sitting at 1-0 in favor of the Mountain Lions. This is Ward. Gonna cross it long. Bearcats defend it nicely.
Good defending skill.
Goal kick coming for the Bearcats. Headed about. Emerson. Now Ferguson, as he was falling, wins the header. Luckily, Hanger will send it long and into the Trojan bench. Neither of these teams giving an inch here as we are in minute 80.
Yeah, defensively both average less than conceding less than 1 goal a game. So it's no surprise this game's 0-0.
Withers preparing for a goal kick, and pressure mounting on these two defenses. One mistake here could end somebody's season.
Yeah, every game from now until the end of the season is effectively a cup final.
Ball free in the middle. Brock
Great pass.
sends it on.
Rich will get there as well.
Brian trying to get there. Sliding tackle made. Well defended by Restrepo.
Who has he been booked for them?
Restrepo, I don't believe has a yellow. I think the 2 yellows so far have been.
That 16 got one, and then I know someone else got one for the tackle on.
That was Mustajo.
Oh.
A sophomore from France picked up the other. Those have been our only 2 bookings of the day, and then
that
a
was
missed opportunity.
Yeah, that was a big opportunity. Kyle was, I mean, obviously I wasn't watching over there, but Kyle would split wider from Skelton, and 2 was got the goal side of Skelton. Could potentially be one-on-one with Jacob, but he's just dragged it wide, out of clearance, out of play rather.
Yeah, Vinny Vega just passed it right out of bounds. 81st minute, clock beginning to tick into the 82nd minute now. Lander and Anderson scoreless as Sandy sends it over.
Great pass, 2v1, go and get him. 17, he is everywhere today. That's probably a foul, but I don't know if he's playing advantage, no.
Brian.
Is he on? Oh, no, he's off.
He's offsides.
Again.
The 8th call of offsides against Lander today.
Anderson's starting to throw more men forward now as well. I don't think they want this game to go to overtime either. Lots and lots of activity, both benches warming up. I think there's five or six warming up for Lander, 4 warming up for Anderson. T's ready to come back on as well.
Sandy trying to win possession, slips and falls. We're gonna have a call. That's against Esteban Lee.
Yeah, that just looked like a slip. Obviously there was pressure on him, but
yeah,
you've seen it so often in this game, people are slipping.
I think the call may have come from when Sandy was down and Lee tried to get to the ball, and I think he may have gotten Sandy in the process. Again, I don't think there was anything malicious there from Lee as Sandy slipped and fell, and he fell kind of right into his feet.
See is ready to come on as well.
There's
Oh,
a
great flow
chance.
delivery.
Headed away. Bicycle attempt. Free in front of the goal. Ball still free, and Elyashiv falls on it.
I'm surprised they didn't give a foul. The amount of times you see a keeper go up with someone within 20 yards of him and the ref gives a foul.
Yeah, he had two Bearcats kind of sandwiched around him. And, of course, both of them were being cautious to not do anything that would cause them to get a booking, but Elyashiv able to muscle his way up and get the ball. A little battle on the near sideline. Emerson against Bryan,
Oh, that is
and a call on Sandy.
Rich letting him know as well, that was soft. Never a foul.
Emerson smiling as he backpedals into position.
Yeah, he knows he's a big lad. A big lad, he's not going to go down that easily unless he's dived.
Yeah, not taking anything away from Sinclair, but that's not a battle that Emerson should lose. And you're right, he went down quickly. So Peterson will get a free kick now. Ball sent far side box. Lander heads it away nicely.
Here we go, Knighty drive at him. Leachy's beating of him.
Ball sent on, deflected. Yeah, Leach had a step on his man.
off. Oh, well, apparently not.
They'll let him continue on. Burris was onside. Says
Someone needs to pick up that 17. Ah, good feet.
Burris pushes it back. Ball still free.
Great pass there, he is in that pocket.
They get Anderson, or Emerson, pardon me. Skelton knocks it out of danger for the moment. Vega again to Skelton. Now Lee. Bolton comes out with it for Lander. Now here's Oliver Brock. They'll send it long.
What a pass that is.
And Sandy's there.
Get in the box, Rob.
Sandy
In the box room.
looking for help. Over to Young. His pass off target. Check it, that was a shot attempt, I think, actually, and he rolled it well wide of the post.
Lots of changes again. 11 back on, 4 coming on. Who's that? Kilgallen and
That's Kilgallen and Landis.
And then T and C are on for Knighty and Rick.
So Richard Bryan's checking out along with George Knight, as you mentioned, to Thibaut Chrétien. And
Oh no, Leachy's going off. Rich
yeah,
and
Richard
Oakley
Bryan's
have just swapped.
switching. Yeah, Oakley Hanger defending now near side. So Sia Jamadar and Thibaut Chrétien back in the match. In minute 86, Lander and Anderson scoreless in this Southeast Regional semifinal, winner to the championship of the region.
Good battle in time.
And a whistle against the Trojans.
There's that chippiness that's going to come into it. What are you doing,
Oh,
boys?
now we've
Don't
got-
be stupid.
We've got an incident now in midfield. That's not what you want at this point of the match. Didn't quite see what led to all that.
I think Ty was tracking back. Ty was tracking someone back. I didn't see who it was. Someone on Anderson. And he might have just kicked him or something. Ty got up, reacted to it, and then everyone jumped in for whatever reason. I think Rich had some involvement.
It looked like Bolton and Burris, I think, got tangled up on the previous play, and Bolton, walking back towards Burris, kind of walked into him, kind of chested him. Burris took offense to it and continued to talk as Bolton walked away, and then Burris was in the midst of about 3 other Bearcats, and all the Bearcats got in his face. And that led to the brief little scrum there. No one booked.
Yeah, ref handled that well, to be fair to him.
Well, he did. I mean, that's a situation where you could easily overreact as an official. Obviously, you don't want to let things spiral out of control, but that's not a situation where nobody swung at anybody. Really wasn't much contact from anyone. Just some words being exchanged. And 2 teams that don't want to see their seasons in, and the emotion and intensity is going to run hot here.
Yeah, even on the sideline, both benches, every single person's on their feet.
No one wants this one to go against them. Ball sent on. Headed.
Hit it.
Free. Shot on the way. High. It was not deflected. And goal kick for Anderson. Young Harris leads Tusculum 1-0 in the 83rd minute of that match. Jamadar's pass to Brock. Brock, good feet.
Here we
Onto
go, numbers
Young.
up.
Young Ball into Chrétien, a lot of traffic, and
yeah.
Elyashiv comes out with it.
Bit risky from the lad sliding in though. He was never going to get the ball. The keeper was always going to get it, and I don't know if he slid in to try and get in Tebow's way, but a ref might just, lose his cool and give it up.
Here's Emerson's shot, rolled it wide to the far post, and Emerson puts his head on his hands, or his hands on his head rather. He thought that he had an opportunity there, and he did have space, but that one just rolled well wide of the far post.
Yeah, he's looked sharp today. Probably been their biggest threat. Obviously, this 11. Did you say 11 was the one who scored 2 the other night?
I think Landis actually did not score the other night.
Who was the one who scored 2? Number 2 was the one who scored 2?
Ward scored the game winner. They had 3 different players score in the comeback over Limestone, but Ward was the one that had the game winner.
He's not offside.
No, he's not. Here's Emerson's shot. Withers made the save. Still free. Poked back in the box, and Lander clears it away. Oh, Jacob Withers with a huge play in the 88th minute.
He's made 2 massive saves throughout this game. One in the first half, one in the second half. Stood big. Great goalkeeping again. Similarly to the first half when Oakley was running in. Keeper stood big, stayed on his feet, covered that near post, and then his only real option was just to hit it into his chest. But yeah, great save nonetheless.
There's Emerson again. Emerson's been causing some problems for Lander in the last few minutes. And now Jamadar the ball near side. Jamadar's pass into traffic. Sandy wins it back.
Oh, feet by.
Well done by Sandy to free himself from Trier defensively. And then Burris had it, lost his footing. Brock away with it. Brock's pass on to Brian. Brian trying to track it down in the far corner. Brian.
He's on the edge.
Looking for help. Sent to the middle. Ball is free. Cleared out by the Trojan defense.
Here we go. Now we've got a transition. This is where we need to be better. Good tee. Great effort.
Burris on for Landis.
Great covering, Skelts.
Skelton closed on him. Lost his footing. Ball is free along the end line.
Goal kick.
Whistle, goal kick to Withers.
Entering stuff now. Last minute and a half. I mean, chances are there's not going to be another effort on goal, but if there is, it could be the game winner. It should be the game winner with a minute left.
Less than 90 seconds remaining in this one. Withers raises the right arm. Here comes the goal kick from the freshman. It's a good one.
Flick.
Deep to the far side. Headed high. Brian couldn't find it. And it's down in the middle. Trojans with possession with 1:09 to play.
Go on, T. Here we go.
Here comes Chrétien.
Rob could be in. Rob could be in if you reverse it. Oh.
Poked away. Sandy. Back to Brock.
Great pass.
Now Jamadar.
2v1. There you go. Wider.
Right side Chrétien. Chrétien in the middle. Cleared. Ricocheted around. Under a minute to go.
Got to snuff this out early.
Trojans want a counter. Pass to Burris. Burris at midfield. Got to swing it all the way near side. It's Emerson and Hanger. Hanger wins the header.
Good win. Important he won that one.
Emerson shields him away with 35 seconds to play in regulation. Trojans work it back to Trier. Sandy approaches him. He sends it on to Kilgallen.
Here we go. Last 20 seconds. Come on, boys. Work hard. Work hard.
Sent right side.
Don't give him a chance.
On the far sideline.
That should do it.
That ball is going to be over the... No, it's not.
Relax, relax.
Withers grabbed it. At 15 seconds to go, Withers just going to boot it high.
10,
Not very deep.
9, 8,
The Trojans might get one more crack at it. Here comes Skelton. He sends it on.
Nah, that's it.
Chrétien trying to run it down.
1.
And we will go to overtime. In the NCAA Southeast Regional Semifinal, 90 minutes have not been enough. We'll take a break and come back with extra time at Van Taylor Stadium. You're listening to Bearcat Soccer on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. The NCAA Southeast Regional Semifinal, and we play on here in Greenwood, South Carolina. Rickson Lane, former Bearcat Ian Folger joining you live from Van Taylor Stadium, Greenwood, South Carolina, on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. Lander against Anderson as we get set to begin this first overtime session.
Yeah, in between that break as well, Young Harris went 2-0 up, so chances are the winner of this game, I mean, there's 3 minutes left and Young Harris are 2-0 up, so chances are the winner of this game will be playing up in Georgia against Young Harris next Friday night.
So one half of the championship match is about to be set. Will the other half be settled here in Greenwood? Ball sent on, Trojans with some early pressure. The ball knocked out of play. A 10-minute overtime period. First to score wins. There's the ball at the feet. And they're trying to converge and trying to pressure. Chase it all the way out to the near sideline. Now Peterson launches a nice ball into the box. Bounces free.
Great block, Ty.
Ty got in front of that shot.
Back post, 23, back post! Oh,
And the ball sent out of play. Corner kick coming up for the Trojans.
sorry about my enthusiasm there. 23 was on his own at the back stick. No one was picking him up.
So here we go, corner kick for the Trojans in the 92nd minute. This is about the point in the overtime against Limestone that Anderson scored. They'll try here, into the side of the net. A lot of heart stopped as that net moved, but the ball went into the side of it. So goal kick for Withers. Bearcats trying to extend this season.
Oh, relax.
Ball sent back into the middle.
Looks like Sears come out on this left wing.
Jemadar trying to track it down, but the ball sent back by Fry.
Try him. Great touch. Knighty's on his own as well if we can get the ball to him.
Sandy turns. He's got Brian in front of him. Brian shifts. The ball over to Jemadar.
This is really when you want your seniors to oh, what a pass.
There's Burris.
This is really when you want your seniors to, you know, step up and take accountability for themselves, because, you know, any moment could be their last kick for the land. Yeah,
for the Bearcats, you know, nearly the entire back end right now is seniors.
No, that's never a foul.
Trojans want a foul. They're not going to get that one. Not in overtime of an NCAA semifinal.
Well, you'd hope not anyway.
You certainly would. And again, these officials, again,
this ref done well, so to be fair.
a credit to them. They have been consistent all day. They've let most of the stuff go, intervened when they had to. Ball out of play.
Oh, 2-1 Tusculum.
Throw in Trojans.
When that happened?
Tusculum making things interesting down at Young Harris, but they've got 40 seconds to try to mount a comeback. They need one more goal to push that one to overtime. The Pioneers not done yet. We'll keep an eye on that one, but that, of course, is secondary to the matter at hand right now as we are in the 94th minute. Out of play, back to Anderson.
No, he's just giving a foul. I think that's done.
Good to have you with us on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network for this NCAA Southeast Regional. Anderson playing their second game in 3 days and trying to score their second upset in as many matches. Meanwhile, Lander, this is their NCAA tournament opener after they were awarded the number 2 seed and went to the semifinals automatically. Here comes an opportunity. Ward had it cleared away from him. Hanger got it. Brian nearly lost possession for a moment.
Handball, yeah.
Handball called against the Trojans. That'll go on Kaula, pardon me. in the 95th minute. No score.
Yeah, that game's over. Young Harris 2-1.
The top team in the nation remains unbeaten, and the Southeast region's #1 seed advances. Young Harris will stay home for the Southeast Region Championship. Will they face Anderson or Lander? There's Brian. Brian tried to shift it over to Sandy, and now Anderson wants to counter quickly, trying to get to Burris, but Hanger runs it down. Hanger back to Withers, and Withers uncorks a beautiful ball over everybody, and Knight's going to be called for offsides. Ball sent on. Ferguson irate as the foul call goes against the Trojans.
He's saying about an elbow. I couldn't see it from where I was there.
Couldn't either, as Ward is the one who was whistled.
Yeah, it didn't look like he ever got off his feet, so maybe he just fell on top of him.
Ferguson gives Ward a pat on the head as he heads back into position. We'll get a laugh from the crowd down below us. All sent on. Knight the intended target. Battle for it far side. Still free.
Great step. Oh, you've got to win that if you're going to dive in.
There's a ball near side.
Oh,
Gola.
he's offside. He's offside. Oh, no, what's he giving? Foul.
We're going to foul. We're going to get a booking.
I think Carl's getting booked for that. I don't know what he did.
Yellow card on Ferguson. The sophomore from Hamilton, Scotland.
Yellow card assessed to Landers, number 6, Kyle Ferguson.
Here's another big moment in the game. Set piece, like we were talking about.
In minute 97, Anderson with an opportunity after the yellow card assessed to Ferguson. Kilgallen's going to send it in. Good ball. Headed wide. Withers kept his hands off of it.
A little bit worrying that in this late stage in the game, whoever it was that headed it on, 6 maybe, or 6 or 5, they're given that much room just to drift into the edge of the box. It was unchallenged for that header as well. Like he looked like he ducked that away or just tried to guide it on rather than actually going for goal.
So in the 97th minute, Lander and Anderson battling here for the right to meet Young Harris in the regional championship. This is a 2-6 matchup in terms of seeding. These teams met in what I believe was both teams' second match of the year here in Greenwood. That was a 1-0 victory for the Bearcats.
Yeah, that game was very tight as well, similar to this one. Obviously, we wouldn't be surprised if one of the chances got taken earlier in the game, and we'd be saying exactly the same as we were 2 months ago.
That's right, as Peterson's long pass headed out of play. Possession to the Bearcats.
Oh, good flick.
Now Burris was in front of everyone. Emerson hesitates as Brock closed out on him. Lander deflects the ball. Hanger got in front of it. And then Hanger
How's that foul?
ripped down. And we got another stoppage of play. Now I think Hanger might be booked.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of bodies in between us and what happened there, but I don't even know what happened. It looked like Oakley had been flung around by the other guy. Maybe he was pulling on him, which caused the reaction.
I think that's what they're going to say. I think they're going to say Hanger initiated it. No card issued, just a foul.
Matching up man for man in the box there. 1 over the set piece, 1 back, and 2 in the wall for Lander. So
The 98th minute.
every single player's got to be accountable for a defender here, rather an attacker. 8's at the back post if someone's got to recognise that.
Ball sent in. Withers punches it away. Well played by the freshman. Sent it on again. Bryan headed it. It's still free. And now right side, here's Burris. Shot high and wide. Burris misses a chance.
Huge chance that. He had so much space to drive into the box as well. He just snatched it early. I can't believe he's not just driven into the box. Take a touch.
There was no need to shoot it right there. I understand, you know, at this point in the match, you've not had many open shots, so I understand why he felt the need to fire that one. But, yeah, you take one dribble there, and you make it a much easier look.
Yeah,
So
tired legs and a tired mind, that summed up there.
with 90 seconds to go, we're still scoreless. Skelton back to Withers. Here comes pressure, and he boots it free. Into the middle, Sandy trying to get over there. Leach is there as well, but the high header taken by the Trojans.
I'm holding my breath every time the ball goes back to Withers because it's bobbling up to it's bobbling over to him, and also he lost his footing earlier in the game.
Yeah, he did. 1 minute remaining in overtime.
I thought he nicked it.
Jamadar whistled for the foul.
Yeah, now it's starting to look like that game it did the second game of the season. It's very, very chippy, stop-start, lots of fouls.
45 seconds to go in the session. Peterson sends it long. Bryan's there, so is Ferguson, but the ball's taken by the Trojans. Right side, it goes to Kaula.
He's a little lad, but he's got a great leap, that number 2. He's challenged every single time in the air.
And Kaula lost it out of play and then won't give the ball back. I don't know what Kalua's arguing about, unless he's saying that Bolton was holding him. It was clearly off of him. I think he's trying to say that Tyler Bolton had him wrapped up. So Bryan going to throw it in. Kaula header, out of play. Knight wants to hurry and get the ball back.
That should do it for the end of the first half.
Yeah, it's not going to be much time. Under 10 seconds to go. We're going to go to a second overtime session in Greenwood. 100 minutes of scoreless action. And the second overtime period coming your way in just a moment. We'll step aside. You're listening to Bearcat Soccer on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. Double overtime coming your way from Greenwood, South Carolina and Van Taylor Stadium. Rickson Lane and former Bearcat Ian Folger with you here on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network. We've played 100 minutes and neither team has found the back of the net, so we play on. The second overtime session about to get underway as the Bearcats and Trojans battle for a berth in the Southeast Region Championship match.
Looks like Tebow and Joe have been swapped in. And Ridley as well, possibly free at the back for Lander. Oakley's come off. Who else? Sia. I don't see Sia back out there. So yeah, it looks like Lander going through at the back. Then Ty and Oz sitting, Rich and T wider. And then maybe a front two of Knighty and Conway just sitting in behind them.
As we prepare for double overtime.
Now this is really when fresh legs come into it.
Absolutely. The Trojans playing their second overtime match in 3 days. Lander's playing its second double overtime outing in its last 2 matches, but its last match came 7 days ago. Trojans have Ward, Restrepo, Kilgallen, Trier, Burris, Kaula, Peterson, Galante, Emerson, and Lee on the pitch along with the keeper Elyashiv.
If we can get T or Joe the ball early, or T in particular, running at this fullback, he has done well through. He's played well all day, dealt with Rich and Oakley out there, but if we can get T running at those.
Header won by Peterson.
Oh, here we go.
Looks like Knight, Bryan, Conway, Sandy, Chrétien, Brock, Bolton, Ferguson, Skelton, Ridley, and Withers in goal for Lander. Whistle against the Trojans. Brock tries to help up Kilgallen, looks like who hit the deck. So Matthew Ridley, the senior from Hartlepool, England, into the match. This is the first time we've seen him today.
Here you go.
Opportunity,
Oh, what a
Elyashiv.
save. He's given a penalty.
Penalty
Oh,
kick.
get in there. Come on.
Penalty kick
Here we go.
called against
Rich.
and
Rich is the man.
a yellow card on, I think it's on Elyashiv.
Stay out of it, Knight. Stay out of the way.
Yeah, Bryan is down. I think Elyashiv just got booked.
Yeah, he got a yellow. I thought he got a ball, but he might have got it with his trailing leg, or he might have got it with. He went in feet first, got it with a hand. I'm not sure we got the replay here.
Bryan went in and looked like Elyashiv came sliding out with his spike up.
Yeah, maybe. Rich is down. He looks in pain. Obviously, a lot of the boys around him. Knighty's around him. Here we go, Skelton. Big moment, big player. This is what we're talking about.
So this penalty kick, obviously we make sure Bryan is okay, but now the Bearcats have a penalty kick opportunity, and Jordan Skelton is going to take it for Lander. He's Lander's top scorer this season. On the year, he is 5 of 6 in penalty kicks. For his career, he is 10 for 11, and that's just kicks taken in regulation. That doesn't count once he's done in PK sessions.
See, it's just come on for Rich, but to be honest with you, I don't think this is going to matter, Rickson.
Skelton.
Come on, Skelts.
One miss in his career against Elyashiv, the sophomore keeper.
The ref's just explaining it to the lino here. I think he's saying he came in with his studs up.
Yep.
Yeah, like you said, he's coming in with his studs up. He slid, but he caught the ball with his arm, and his stud had already caught Rich first. Here we go. Everyone in the crowd's on their feet.
This could decide the semi.
One kick away.
Skelton and Elyashiv, 1-on-1 to decide whether we play on or whether Lander moves on to the championship. Ref will make sure everyone's good to go. Senior captain from Newcastle, England, as he stands over the ball.
Can you hear a pin drop in the stadium?
I tell you what, it is so quiet. Largest crowd in program history, and not a sound. Here we go.
Bottom left.
Skelton, the kick.
Oh, he saved
Save made by Elyashiv. Elyashiv saved it, diving right. And we continue. What a stop from the sophomore.
What a moment that is.
My goodness, Gal Elyashiv. You talk about a clutch moment there. Guessed right and made the stop. Skelton put it in a tough spot. The Lander still has possession.
Speaking of big moments, is there a bigger one? Wow.
Can the Bearcats rally here? That could be deflating, but Lander's still got the ball.
No, that's only motivated him. Look at him flying forward. Oh, he's over here.
Chrétien overshoots everyone. Just the second time in his career that Skelton has had a penalty kick stopped.
Come on, Skelton, bounce back, boys. Come on, rally around him. He's dug us out of so many holes throughout 4 years.
103rd minute, we play on.
He's dug us out of so many holes in the 4 years he's been here. Now he needs help from someone else. Can someone else help him out? Be the leader here. Come on, take charge and win the game. Put us through.
Elyashiv will give way to Peterson here, who will take the goal kick. 103rd minute. Lander and Anderson are even. Ball to Kaula. Sent high at the midfield stripe. Headed on by Burris, but taken back by Skelton. Lander keeps it in play. There's a battle for it on the far sideline. Now Knight's got it at his feet. Pass on Conway. Conway trying to flick it down the far sideline.
Go on, Joe.
Wants to get around a defender. And the ball out of play. Throw in Bearcats as the clock ticks on.
I am shell-shocked, Rickson.
I tell you what, that was a moment where you thought.
We've just got to relax now. Everyone's going forward, but who's that? Ty and Ridley recognise you 2v1, you split next to their striker. Obviously, of course, we want to score, but you can't lose.
Yeah, Harry Ward, the very dangerous
Here we go.
attacker. Ball in the box, still free. Here's Chrétien. Chrétien hesitates. Push it back to Brock. Check it, that's Ridley. Ridley
Don't lose the ball. You're 2v1 at home. You're 1v1 at home. You cannot lose this ball. Good decision.
swings it back. Well played. This is Bolton now. Sandy says to push it ahead, and he does. Oh, they had a possibility of Conway.
Relax wider. Good.
Chrétien.
Now, wait, hang on a minute. We've got 3v2 at the back. We've got to score this otherwise.
Near side, and the ball's sent away, and it'll come to the near sideline.
Obviously, I get how much we're chasing the game, but I cannot reiterate, as much as we want to win this game, we cannot lose. Penalties is a shootout. Don't do something stupid here. Oh, there we go. There's a long throw in.
It's a long throw from Ridley. My goodness. Chrétien lost his footing.
No, he got the ball first.
Yeah, good tackle there made by Restrepo.
Here we go. Get round them. Go on.
Winning back.
Finish.
Conway shoots.
Oh, what
high.
a save.
Joe Conway has it deflected high by Elyashiv.
What a save. He is 2 big moments. Wow. When you need your keeper to come up big. He's a sophomore as well. Oh my goodness, what a save.
And what a shot from the freshman, Joe Conway, who's only playing in his 9th match of his career, and he fired a bullet at the crossbar.
Everyone back there for Anderson now. Oh, what a save. He's been unreal in overtime. He'd hardly touched the ball in regular time.
So here comes the corner for the Bearcats.
Here we go. I heard about this in training as well. Everyone under the bar.
105th minute. Sent on. Headed. In front of the goal.
Yes!
It's over! It's over! Lander on to the championship of the Southeast Regional. The Bearcats win it in the 106th minute. Lander will play for a region title for the 2nd straight year. My goodness, the Bearcats do it in minute 106.
I couldn't tell you who scored it. I don't care.
No idea who scored. There was a scrum of Bearcats in the area. We'll try to look back and see who got a piece of it. No telling from the live angle. It was headed on, ricocheted, and then I'm trying to see.
Is that Sia? I think Sia poked it in.
I think that was Jamadar.
Sia ran off celebrating, yeah.
Jamadar with the winner in minute 106. Lander will face Young Harris next week for a berth in the Sweet 16. How about that? Well, that's the last match of the year here in Greenwood, and what a way to
Possibly,
end soccer
if we win
season.
Friday.
That's true. That's true. You win Friday, then maybe you get another chance. But my goodness, what a year. And what resiliency by this Bearcat team. We will step aside, come back, and speak with our man of the match. Lander, 1-0 in overtime over the Trojans of Anderson. You're listening to Bearcat Soccer on the Bearcat Broadcasting Network.
We connect behind closed doors. Spark this fire even more. Don't tell it where we will be now. Surrender to your assurance. Let your heart the slumber flow. Can't resist, that's why we run. Yeah.
Back at Greenwood, South Carolina, Van Taylor Stadium, Lander, a winner in double overtime, 1-0 over the Anderson Trojans, and we're joined now by our man of the match. He netted the game winner in the 106th minute, the senior from Sweden, Sia Jamadar. Sia, you guys had played this Anderson team earlier this season. You knew what they were capable of after the win over Limestone. As the match went on, you guys seemed to get more comfortable. What was your sense of how that match went as you got deeper and deeper into the day?
Yeah, we know it's going to be a hard game because it's always hard to play the same team later on in the season. And at this point of the season, it's just a grind, and it's whoever has the more heart wins the game.
In that final few minutes, you have the PK opportunity. They make a play. When you guys rally back to come up and get that ball into the box, what did you see as that ball was kind of being kicked about in front of the net?
Now, it was just like a bit of a shamble in there, actually. It just bounced off two people and just bounced right to me. I was in the right place at the right time and just had an open net, just put it in.
And the senior takes advantage. The career continues for Jamadar and the rest of the seniors, and the season continues for the Bearcats next week in the Southeast Region Championship. Sia, congratulations. Go enjoy this one.
Thank you.
That's our man of the match, Sia Jamadar. The Bearcats win, and they survive here in Greenwood, and they'll take on Young Harris in a third opportunity to get a crack at the Mountain Lions next week down in Georgia. That'll do it for us this afternoon from Van Taylor Stadium. For Ian Folger and everyone here at Lander University, I'm Rickson Lane signing off. Bearcats double overtime winner over the 6-seeded Anderson Trojans. Have a blessed day, everybody, and we'll talk to you down the road.